Welcome to TaNaCh Talk. I'm your host, William Hall, broadcasting live out of Kingsland, Texas, USA, with another episode of TNT, the Twisted New Testament, actually going parallel with Rabbi's books, Judaism and Christianity, a contrast with our awesome Rabbi Stuart, the man Federow, who's fixing to give you a finger dance after he shows you both contrast in Spanish and in English. Finger dance it. Come on. There we go. And a happy smile to go with it. Yeah, baby. All right. Good deal. That's good. It's good to have you back. Yeah. Good to be back. All right. Good deal. All right. So I'm going to, we're going to start this thing off because I don't want to, under any circumstances, for anything to be said that I misquoted somebody or I misrepresented what they were saying. So I'm going to play the video. It's only 2 minutes long. I'm going to play the entire video. It's like a minute, 58 seconds. I'll play the entire video, and we'll just counter it. Now, at some point, if it looks like the video is going and he hits something that you're afraid you might forget, either take notes, Rabbi, when we're going across, or just tell me to pause the video, and we can do that. It may be better to just take pencil and notes, so that way we can hear him without stopping. Because
I know we'll hear him without stopping.
Okay, Good deal. And if you hear anything important, just write down topic point right there, like a bullet point. Okay. So, but anyway, I'd like to welcome everybody in YouTube land. I want to make sure the thing is set on. Yep, very good. Everything is public right now. All right, good deal. Let's see. Thank you very much, Mr. Cheney. Appreciate you putting that up there for me. Okay. Okay, it's not the right one, but it's close. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, reiterate the rules, guys. Just be nice. That's the whole rules. If you can have all the different, you could be Buddhist, Hindu, Christian, doesn't matter. But if you're not going to be nice, if you call people names and they're being rude, blatantly rude, you will just simply be banned without warning. Maybe. So depending on the context, I've actually had people come on before who actually were not Native Americans, and I was watching their speech, and it looked like because most of what they were saying was like super respectful, and then they said one thing that didn't seem respectful, but the rest of it did, and it turned out this guy wasn't from our country, and he didn't know that one word he added there was making it really sarcastic. So anyway, just be nice. We won't delete your comments, no matter how they are, unless they're really rude or you're using bad language or anything like that, or you're trying to make anybody look rude. Helen Roos, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. You're awesome. So we will get this thing started. Let me put this on the screen, and which will require me taking this one off the screen. Bear with me 1 second, and let's go here. And let's go here. Okay, here we go.
Do Christians misuse Isaiah 7:14? Does the Hebrew word alma never refer to a virgin? And does the word betula always refer to a virgin in the Hebrew Bible? Well, in Isaiah chapter 47, the first verse, the word betula is used, the betula of Babylon. We read in verse 9 that this betula is going to lose her children and experience widowhood. This instance means that betula cannot be referring to a virgin. In Joel chapter 1 verse 8, the word betula is used to describe women mourning for their bridegrooms. This word betula in this context cannot be referring to a virgin. In the Torah, Genesis 24 verse 43, Rebecca, Isaac's wife, before they were married, is referred to as a virgin. And guess what the Hebrew word is? Alma. This means that both words alma and betula don't always either refer to a virgin or don't always not refer to a virgin. Both words can be used to refer to a virgin. And so Matthew was permitted by the Hebrew Bible to use Isaiah 7:14 in the first chapter of his gospel to apply it to Jesus, to say that Jesus, the Messiah, was the one who brought to complete fulfillment this passage in Isaiah chapter 7. So Christians are not being deceptive. Matthew's not being deceptive whenever he says that Isaiah 7:14 is to mean that the virgin will conceive and will bear a child.
All right, so there you go.
Wait, keep it running.
Is it? Oh, hold on. Actually, it says replay the video. Actually, I can.
Oh,
that's okay. There's actually a hashtag underneath it anyway.
Do Christians misuse Isaiah 7:14?
That was already. I'm gonna see
Does
if I can
the Hebrew word alma?
Hold on.
In that.
Yeah, there's TikTok. Is that what you were asking for?
No, I wanted everybody to see that he's representing a ministry called Alethea
Yeah,
Ministry.
it's actually
like
it's actually. Well, let me
conceive.
pause this.
no, don't worry about it. Let's go on.
No, it's
not
too
worth it.
it's too late now. I already did it.
That doesn't matter. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I already did it. I've just got to pull it back up on the screen here. I made it too big. So there we go, right there. So, yep, I already had it up on screen the first time. I don't know if it was big enough to see, but it is there now. But anyway, so he's definitely representing, like you said, Alethea Ministries, whatever that means. So, okay, cool. All right, Rabbi, let's go with it. We need to make sure we cover.
I honestly don't know where to begin. Look, let me start out with something.
Okay.
A number of things. Okay, before we even get to the verses. The first thing is, I don't know Mr. Goldsmith.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know what his background is. I don't know what he knows. I just have a very sneaking suspicion. I could be wrong. Be the first to admit it if I am. That he doesn't know an Aleph from a Bet. That he doesn't know Hebrew. That he's reading Messianic Misquote of the Month magazines that feed him this idea. And then, like a number of people I know, get on TikTok and make the information they mislearn, but whatever, sound like their own information. So that's one thing.
Okay.
Second thing I want to say, and from the very outset, is where'd it go? Oh, here. Okay. He gave three references to prove this. Isaiah 47, verses 1 and 9, Joel chapter 1, verse 8, and then in Genesis 24:43. Isaiah and Joel are prophets, obviously, and they are prophesying to or against or about a country. They're not talking about a real person, an individual person. They're talking to or about, or they're prophesying to a country, a nation. They're talking about a nation, a large number of people, okay, a country, all right? They're either talking about Babylon, which took over Israel, destroyed the temple, okay, or they're talking about the Jewish people as a group. And when you're talking about a nation and you are making what is clearly metaphors and allegory and whatever the proper word is, you know, the Hebrew of the Bible mixes its sexes. It'll call a nation she, and then in the next sentence, the next verse, it'll call that same nation a he. And by the way, how can a nation, because he's talking about a nation in two of these three examples, not start over. Let's put it the other way, because we're adults here.
Okay.
Have sex.
Right.
Okay. I mean, he's how convenient for the Christian community to take things literally when it suits them and only figuratively when it does not suit them. Okay. Third thing I want to remind everybody of, okay, and everybody who talks about Isaiah 7:14 says the same thing. If he wants to say that Alma means virgin, he cannot say, well, it means virgin for Jesus in Matthew, but it doesn't mean virgin for whoever it's talking about in Isaiah, in Isaiah's time, that Isaiah himself was referring to. And therefore, what he's saying is that Jesus is a second virgin birth, because the first one had to have been fulfilled in the days of Isaiah with presumably the wife of Isaiah.
Right. If that happened, he would have to be the second one. That's a really good point.
You can't say, oh, it's virgin when it's talking about Jesus in Matthew, but it's really, you can't have it both ways. So that means the whole story of Jesus, according to their interpretation, is the second incident of a virgin birth. Whatever. All right. So now, I'm going to need you to bring this up. You probably have it up already. You're going to have it up. It's Isaiah 47, 1 and 9. And I'm not the only one who said this, by the way.
sorry, my kids walked in.
No, hi.
Bad timing.
Hi.
He said hi.
Miss y'all. Haven't seen you in a while.
Give me 1 minute, so talk for 60 seconds.
Okay. All right. So I don't, I need it up.
Okay, all right, here we go. Sorry. All right, I'm back.
Thank you.
Yeah, either your timing or their timing is horrible.
No, they came in to say hello to me.
They did. They miss you.
Yes, they did.
They do. Okay, give me 1 second here. I've got to pull this in. Okay, all right. So
Isaiah 47, 1 and 9.
Isaiah 47, 1. Okay, there we go. Isaiah 47, 1 through 9.
1 through 9.
Okay, let me put this on the screen where you can see it.
Up.
Okay.
And whose translation are you using?
Chabad.
Okay.
Go for it.
I really want to see it. So just
okay.
10 seconds or whatever it is.
I have a better idea. I'll just share it with you this way. That way you don't have to wait. That way you don't have to wait for it.
All right. From the very first verse, it tells you who he's talking about. Who is Isaiah talking about? Descend and sit in the dust, virgin daughter of Babylon. So is this really talking about a single individual who happens to be female and happens to be a virgin who is Babylonian? Come on. There's not a single commentator, Christian or otherwise, who thinks that this is really about an individual. So when it's talking about a country, virgin daughter of Babylon, daughter of the Chaldees, which is biblical poetry, parallelism, okay, then it's allegory. It's not meant to be taken literally. He wants to take the word virgin literally, okay? And then he wants to jump to verse 9. Would you jump to verse 9, please?
There we go. I'm sharing my screen with you. You should be able to...
I know, thank you.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. And these two shall come to you in a second in one day, bereavement and widowhood. Those are the two things that'll come in a second in one day. In their full measure they shall come upon you with a multitude of your sorceries, with the great abundance of your charms. Bereavement and widowhood. And he claims that since it's originally talking about a virgin, here it's talking about a virgin who's a widow. So therefore the word virgin can the word alma can also be a virgin. Or virgin can also, yeah, you know what I mean.
Okay.
Okay. You know how a magician will do a magic trick and they'll distract you? They'll make you look one way because they don't want you to look at what they're really doing. This is what's going on here. So why does he draw everybody's attention to verse 1 and then verse 9? Take a look at verse 3.
Okay. Your nakedness shall be uncovered. Yeah, your shame shall be seen. I will take revenge, and I will not.
Yeah, and what does it mean to uncover the nakedness of? What does that mean? Take a look at Leviticus 19. Wait a minute. Did I write it down? I think it's Leviticus 19.
Okay.
Okay. You don't have to go there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's verse after verse after verse after verse after verse that talks about illicit sexual union. It's talking about sex.
Mm-hmm.
So in verse 1, they can call this person, which is actually a whole country, a virgin. Okay. Then the imagery, okay, the analogy or the storyline, whatever, about this country, not an individual, is that basically there's going to be sex, uncover the nakedness of.
Right.
Well, that means they're not a virgin by the time they get to verse 9.
Yeah.
Hello. Look, another thing that I have to say, okay? Anybody is free to take any verse they want to and interpret it in any way they want to and have their own opinion. And Christianity is going to take every opportunity they can to ignore the Hebrew, ignore the fact that if the biblical text wants to talk about virginity, it will use the word virgin, betula. And if it doesn't really matter in the context, they're going to use the word alma. Okay? Can an Alma be a virgin? Yes, but that's not important to the text, or else they would use that word. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Your nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, your shame shall be seen. And he wants you to see verse 1. He wants you to see verse 9. He just kind of like skips over verse 3 there. So, of course, a woman is a virgin. Her nakedness is uncovered, which is some form of sex. And then, later, she mourns her husband. She mourns the people that she's lost.
Right. So it's saying
which is a warning to Babylon and the Chaldees, okay, that they're going to have recompense for what they did to the Jewish people. Right. This isn't about a virgin. This isn't even about a young woman. This is about a nation.
Right.
Okay. Next one, Joel chapter 1, verse 8. Right. Joel chapter 1, verse 8.
Okay, 1 second here.
Who is Joel talking about? Watch your language. He's angry at the Jewish people. Joel is talking about the bug, I want to say grasshopper. That's not the word.
Locust. Yeah.
Locust.
Maybe.
I think that have swarmed in Jerusalem, and he sees it as a punishment against the people, against the nation. Once again, he is talking about a nation. He's not talking about an individual. It is you, and they mix their metaphors. Okay, they talk about. I wish I could think of something offhand. I should have written it down. Okay, but the biblical text sometimes, as I said, will call the nation a he in one place and a female in another.
Right.
Okay, we usually talk about countries as being feminine. Okay, the Hebrew mixes their metaphors all the time. So,
for me, this is like, if I was to read this, like lament like a virgin girded with sackcloth for the husband of her youth. So, if she met him and she was a virgin, that's how I would say that's how you should mourn, like before you ever had sex, which means that would be a virgin.
Right.
Right? Or am I doing that wrong? I'm misunderstanding that. I think it's right. So I don't understand why this verse was used in that, but it's okay. Okay, so what do we got to go to next?
Joel 1:8.
Joel 1:8. Let me get there real fast. Oh, that was it right there. I was just on it. Yep.
By the way, and this is important, okay, interesting in the Hebrew and in the English, I'm pretty sure every time, we'll get to that in a few minutes, it's again talking about a people. It's very clear that this is an analogy because Joel chapter 1 verse 8, Eli Kitula, okay, like a virgin.
Yeah.
It's an analogy. Okay, it's talking about a country. Okay, like a virgin kissed for the very first time. I couldn't resist. All right, so what does this verse say? Okay, it's talking about the people of Israel. Okay, let's see.
I have a question though. I think I'm confused now.
Okay.
Because so like Isaiah 7:14, for example.
Yes.
It says young woman, which is Alma.
Yep. It says explicitly Alma.
Right.
Because the issue isn't her virginity. The issue is that she's a young woman.
But in the verses that he's mentioning, it doesn't say Alma. It says Habatullah. And that's what he's saying where they translate it. Is that right? It says Habatulot or something like that. Let me see. Let me go back to it. What verses see? I'm in Joel chapter 1, verse 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. So Kabatulot. Tula, excuse me, Kibatula. So that typically that doesn't say Alma. It says Betula.
No. It says it says virgin. But as we're going to see, There's an awful lot of Christian translations who don't translate it as virgin.
Because Isaiah 7:14 doesn't say virgin; it says the Alma.
It says Ha-Alma,
which is a young woman. So, yeah,
not a young woman.
Right.
It doesn't even say a virgin. It says the.
Right.
It's definite article Ha-Alma.
Yeah.
And by the way, it says Hara. She's already pregnant. Not gonna conceive, but she's already pregnant.
Right.
Okay.
And, one of my arguments with that too is with something so, I would say, catastrophically, like, I mean, if you're going to burn in hell forever for not accepting Jesus, and the virgin birth thing is so important, and that if there's only one prophecy in the entire TaNaCh that's supposed to support a virgin birth, virgin, the word virgin would be necessary. I mean, specifically call out virgin there. Not just a young woman, because anybody can be a young woman, but sexual orientation is determined by those specific terms, and so I don't get the argument at all. I mean, I understand the argument, but I don't understand why they try to use that. So,
because they'll use anything they can to prove that what they see in the Hebrew Scriptures through their Christian-colored glasses is accurate.
Okay, right.
And as I said, okay, all they're doing, not all they're doing, we do it too. Everybody does it. Everybody will take a verse and they will give it an interpretation that fits their theology. Mm-hmm. So they're not necessarily talking about what the text actually says. They're actually talking about their viewpoint, their point of view, which is in his case Christian, in our case Jewish, okay, and to validate their already existing belief. There's a saying that the commentator, the person who makes a comment on a biblical verse, will tell you more about themselves in their comment than they will tell you about the verse they are commenting on. Okay, I didn't say the quote very well, but you know what I'm saying.
I get it.
Never end a preposition with never end a sentence with a preposition or something like that. Okay. Bring up the file I sent. Okay.
Okay, let me go back to my email. Where are you, Romeo?
Yeah.
There it is right there. Okay, here we go.
Can you make it larger? I can barely read it.
Yes, I can. Actually, hold on. You just keep looking at your screen.
Do what?
You want it larger? Here you go.
All right, that's fine.
You see that better? I wish I could adjust this now, because now it's double stacked. That's
okay.
Let me do
Lament
this.
like a virgin, girded with sackcloth for the husband of her youth. Okay. It's like a virgin. It doesn't say a virgin is girded with sackcloth, but mourning, lamenting.
Right.
Okay. But take a look at all of the various ways that these are all Christian translations. Slow down. These are all Christian translations. Okay. And right now, don't move. You got AMP. AMP is Amplified Bible. Okay. Wail like a virgin bride clothed with sackcloth for the bridegroom of her youth. Not husband, bridegroom.
Which means at that point, she would be a virgin.
Let me tell you a very sad story told to me and the Baptist minister on my radio show by the priest on my radio show when we were talking about the will of God. And the priest was talking about how he doesn't believe every single thing that happens in the world is the will of God. And his example, and we could all give them, was a couple at their wedding, which was a beach wedding. I don't even remember where this is horrible, but they waded into the water to take a photograph of themselves with the setting sun behind them, and a big wave came, pulled them out into the ocean, and the priest had 2 funerals to do.
What the heck?
They were married. They never consummated the marriage. It's very possible and happens that a person who is even married, let's say they have done with the marriage ceremony, something happens, God forbid, a million times, and the groom passes away.
Right.
So she would be a virgin,
Yep.
lamenting the loss of her husband. It's possible.
I've heard of that happening with the military.
Unfortunate,
Yeah.
but true.
People want to get married, but they can't be together. They just get married, and then he goes right back to his training class or whatever, and then he gets shipped off, and next thing you know, he's gone. So,
right.
It's possible. Yeah.
So, take a look at the one marked. Oh, you got it up. Don't move. You got it right there.
Okay, good.
It's CSB. Grieve like a young woman. Doesn't say virgin. These Christian translations are translating it without translating it as virgin. Grieve like a young woman dressed in sackcloth, mourning for the husband of her youth. Okay? These are Christian translations. And if this gentleman has an argument with the translation, he doesn't like to go argue with your Christians, your fellow Christians who translated it this way.
Yeah.
Okay? Okay, CEB, lament like a woman dressed in funeral clothing. Doesn't say that she's a virgin. She's a woman dressed in funeral clothing. Okay?
Young woman, yeah.
Right. Take a look at CEV. Okay? CEV. Grieve like a young woman, doesn't say virgin, mourning for the man she was to marry. She was to marry. According to the CEV, they weren't even married yet. Okay? And yes, I'm not saying that there aren't also Christian translations that will translate this literally as a virgin who mourns for the husband of her youth. But it's talking about a country. It's not talking about a real virgin. But hey, if they want to go ahead and interpret this, virgin equals Alma, okay, Alma, Betula, Alma, they're all the same, then it's also true for the days of Isaiah in the 7th chapter, and for presumably the wife of Isaiah must have also been a virgin.
Yeah, I think it'd be different, like right here, for example, in the.
And by the way, we don't know that it's talking about Isaiah's wife.
Right.
It could be talking about the young woman, means that both Isaiah and what's his name, the king that he's talking to. I can't think of his name all of a sudden. They both knew who they were talking about.
Right.
Okay.
Here's the thing. So
ERV, cry like a young woman crying because the man she was ready to marry has died.
Right. Ready to marry, meaning she would have been a virgin unless she was going to be.
By the way,
right.
you're going to see that some of these will say that the man she was betrothed to. And in the ancient world, in the Jewish world, really up until about the year 800, 700, 900, somewhere in that range, there were two ceremonies that they did in the process of getting married. The first one was the engagement, where they're separated for each other. Okay, Kiddushin. A year later, they would actually have the wedding. They're not engaging in sex, but they are promised one to the other. They're engaged. So when they translate it as betrothed, these Christian translations, when they translate it as betrothed, they are translating it as they're not married yet. They haven't consummated this. And that's plenty of time, God forbid, for the groom to pass away. Let's see. The ERV, we did that already. Okay. Let's see. Take a look at some of these translations.
But even the ones that say, it's very clear, even the ones that say virgin, like as you use the word virgin, it is referring to a virgin, because it actually says for the bridegroom of her youth, not to her husband.
Right.
You know?
But again, I'm going to remind everybody, this is talking about a country, not a real single individual woman.
Right.
So it's a metaphor. It's an image. They should be repenting for their sin that caused these locusts to come and eat everything they had. They should be repenting for their sin and crying about the evil that they had perpetrated, like a young woman, as if she'd lost the husband of her youth.
Here's TLB. That's a good
or
one.
like a virgin. Okay.
Here's TLB at the top.
Yeah, weep with sorrow as a virgin weeps whose fiance is dead.
There you go.
Okay, which one was that?
TLB, right above MSG. Which is
right. Okay, the Living Bible, by the way.
Okay.
All right. Take a look at how about, let's jump forward, because this is all, the message is mourning the loss of her fiance. All right, that's the one right after TLB. Then further down, NOG, the man she was going to marry, and it says young woman, not virgin. Then you've got the NCB, New Catholic Bible, lament like a virgin garbed in sackcloth, grieving for the betrothed of her youth.
Yeah.
They were engaged, not husband, betrothed. Okay. Take a look at New English Translation, the NET. Okay.
Oh, look at the NIRV first. The Nirvana.
NIRV.
I'll call that the Nirvana version. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, it's the New International Reader's Version. It's the NIV, but it's a reader's version.
That's a good one.
My
right
people mourn like a virgin who is dressed in the clothes of sadness. She is sad because she has lost the young man she was going to marry. It's the New International Version. NIRV. New International Reader's Version.
Revised,
okay. Notice NIV.
Oh, there you go. Oh, here we go. More like
right
a
there.
virgin.
More like a virgin in sackcloth, grieving for the betrothed of her youth.
Yeah.
They were engaged, not married.
Right.
Christian translations, NIV. You can't get more Christian than that. Okay. Take a look at, let's see, the NIV of the UK. Same thing, betrothed of her youth.
There's one here, the New Living Translation kind of screws it up, but it's like one.
Cry in sorrow like a young, pure woman dressed in cloth made from hair because the man she was going to marry is dead.
No, the NLT.
NLT. Look. New Life Version. Weep like a bride dressed in black, mourning the death of her husband.
Which, that's not it. She wasn't a husband. It was her husband of her youth. So that was a bad translation.
And it says, but it says bride. But look, William,
I see what you mean.
The point I'm making, which Christians do often to the Jews.
Yeah, right.
Okay, they'll say, "Oh, look at this obscure rabbi who said something that sounds like he believed in Christian theology."
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, if they can do it, we can do it. These are Christian translations. Right. Christians obviously don't believe that Betullah has to be virgin, because look how often they NLT weep like a bride dressed in black.
By the way, I heard on the YouTube chat, somebody commented and said that video that he made has already been taken down. So I don't know if the ministry took it down because maybe they saw that it was messed up, that he was wrong on it, or if it was just flagged because they don't like churchy stuff on them. I'm not really sure, but I thought that was interesting.
By the way, you've got the Revised Standard Version, RSV. That's a very well-respected Christian translation. Lament like a virgin girded with sackcloth for the bridegroom of her youth, not husband.
Yeah.
Okay. Revised Standard Version, Catholic Edition, RSV CE. Again, bridegroom of her youth, engaged, not married. Okay. Look at the one marked voice.
Okay, 1 second.
Okay. That's the minister on my radio show's translation. He was the lead translator.
Okay.
Wail like a bride dressed in sackcloth instead of her gown, as a virgin mourning the death of the groom she'd long been betrothed to, not married to.
Right.
Okay.
So I think we've come to the conclusion that 99% of every Christian translation, they kind of got it right, because they know that, a virgin would be someone who's betrothed, not someone who's married. and it's all pointing out that. So,
Right.
right. So,
Okay. By the way, do look at the WYC. That's a very well respected translation. It's the Wycliffe.
oh wow, the commentary.
You know, the guy who was murdered
Yeah.
for translating. Okay. Wail thou as a virgin girded with a sackcloth on the husband of her time of marriage. At the time of marriage.
Yeah.
It doesn't say that she consummated the marriage.
Right.
Wail thou like a virgin clothed with a sackcloth for her husband at the time of her marriage. In other words, he died before they got married.
I think it's interesting because it's like they've got like the word, for example, Messiah is like 49 times in TaNaCh, and the Christians only took one of those and translated it to be to their liking. And it seems like it's kind of doing the same thing here. It seems like that when it came down to virgin, when it came to Isaiah 7:14, where it says, Betullah versus Ha'alma. Isaiah 7:14 says Ha'alma, and it means young woman, but that's the one place, like they did with Mashiach.
You want to take a look at another one? Go look at the last 10 or 15 editions of Strong's Concordance.
They keep changing it.
No, well, they
revising
changed
it. That's funny.
Okay. Let me tell you that in Strong's Concordance, where they list the places where the word Alma is listed, okay, it's young woman, 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 virgin, young woman, young woman.
That's what I'm talking about, just like they did with Mashiach.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
But the interesting thing
That's funny.
is I don't remember when. Okay, I'm not going to go out and start searching for and buying, at the half-price books or whatever. But at a certain point, maybe 10 versions ago, 10 editions of Strong's Concordance ago, because the complaints were so bad that why is every single one virgin except, why is every Alma translated as young woman except one place, and it happens to be Isaiah 7:14.
Yep. Wow.
So he went back and he changed one other place, okay,
right,
to say the word virgin like it says in 7:14, and that in the one place was Genesis, where she'd just been raped.
Right, after she was raped. She was
raped.
Yep.
But, Strong's from that point on could say, see?
Okay,
Two places where it means virgin.
Okay, so what else in the video did he discuss that we need to cover?
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
The next quotation we didn't get to, which is Genesis 24:43.
All right, let me pull that.
Okay, I have my own take on this.
Let me go to first.
Other respected members of the Jewish community may not agree with me.
24. Hold on. 24:43.
24:43.
Okay, good deal.
You have to make it larger.
Okay. Oh yeah. Hold on a second.
Thank you. That's perfect.
Okay. Behold, I'm standing. Oh, let me put it on screen. 1 second.
Right. Yes.
Okay. Behold, I am standing by the water fountain. When a maiden comes
out to draw water, I will say to her, please give me a little water to drink from your pitcher. And his point, I think, okay, is that here they use the word alma to refer to the woman.
Right.
But earlier, okay, ha-alma, the young woman, when a maiden, not a maiden, the ha is the, it's a definite article. When the maiden comes out to draw, I will say to her, give me a little water to drink from your pitcher. Okay, but if you go back earlier, I can't remember if he explicitly named a verse or it's just at the beginning.
Well, to me, it's very simple because to me, ha'alma could be both, and I'm not going to shout. I didn't think this through, but a young woman could be both, but betullah can't.
Right. In other words, when the author, capital T, capital A, the author, wants to make the point that it's a virgin, the only word he's going to use
is betullah.
And when it doesn't matter, okay, he says alma.
And keep in mind, that's the argument that Troy is making here, is that both words are fully interchangeable, and that's totally not true. I mean, you just really proved it really heavily with what you just had on that long graph.
But William,
chart.
William, tell me why in this telling of the story, uh, uh, the servant of Abraham, Eliezer. Tell me why Eliezer used the word alma here and didn't use it before, used Betula.
Right, gotcha.
Now, what's the answer?
I don't know. Keep in mind, you've already thought this through. I haven't. This is like fresh. My brain is going like searching.
But
so
this is gonna.
Okay.
This is to me,
okay.
And I said there are probably other,
right.
better biblical.
I know where you're going to go. That makes sense. So she was a virgin, but now she might not be.
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
Thought I'd try.
No. Okay.
Okay, l'chaim.
Thank you. All right. So verse 43 says, "Behold, I am standing by the water fountain. When a maiden comes out to draw water." How do I word this nicely, William?
I don't know, but watch out for getting flagged on YouTube. So,
hey, they'll probably want to flag this.
Oh boy.
But if I'm talking, William, don't get mad at me. If I am talking to a very good friend of mine who lives west of Austin, Texas,
Northwest. Thank you.
About his daughter.
Yep.
Am I going to refer to him? Am I going to talking to him? Am I going to refer to his daughter as your virgin?
No, your daughter.
No, I'm going to avoid it.
Right.
It would be considered crude and rude and out of place and a little weird.
That's a great point. Yeah.
So what's going on at this point in verse 43? Who is he talking to at this point?
Interesting.
He's talking to the family of Rebecca.
Wow.
He's talking to the woman's family. He's not going to say, "Hey, your virgin daughter." He's going to say the young woman.
Yeah, because he's quoting, saying exactly what he's going
himself.
to say. He's exactly how he's going to work it.
He's retelling the same story
right.
to the family of Rebecca that he is told that happened once, and he's retold now twice. Slowly go back, okay? Keep going.
I forget.
And Sarah, my master's, little bit before. Okay. And he's, okay, right. So look at 34. And he said, "I am Abraham's servant."
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Notice 33. Okay. Well, keep going a little bit further back, but not much. Okay. So the man, that's Eliezer, came to the house and unmuzzled the camels, and he gave straw and fodder to the camels and water to wash his feet.
Rabbi.
What?
Hold on.
Okay. What's the matter?
Verse 32, because you're reading and everybody's going to be watching the screen, and they make sure that they're reading what's on screen.
Okay.
But you started off without me, so. All right.
I'm sorry.
All right, verse 32. Go for it.
Right. So the man came to the house and unmuzzled the camels and gave straw and fodder to the camels and water to wash his feet and the feet of the man who were with him. And food it was set before him to eat, but he said, "I will not eat until I've spoken my words." Who's he talking to? He's talking to the family of Rebecca. He's not going to say the family of Rebecca when he recounts this kind of miraculous, very romantic thing.
Right. That makes sense. Yep.
Hey, God, if I come to this place and I say to a woman, "Can I have something to drink?" and she not only gives me something to drink, but gives my camels to drink, then I will know this is the woman you've pointed out.
Yeah.
That's what he says to God. And then it happens exactly that way. And then she brings him, to her family, and he tells them the same story.
Right.
So in Genesis 24:43, of course he's going to use the word alma. Hey, tell me about your virgin daughter. Snidely whiplash.
That's brilliant.
I mean, come on.
That makes perfect sense.
Look,
yeah.
William, again, I'm going to say this again and again and again. Okay? Anybody is free to take any verse they want to and give it any interpretation they want. Okay? And this is what Christians do, and Jews and Christians will always disagree, because what makes a Christian is that he's going to see this like this man sees it.
Yeah.
Okay? Tells you more about the commentator than it does about the verse he's commenting on. Okay? He's going to see it this way because he's a Christian. Jews are going to see it another way, and you can argue till what's the word? You can argue till
The sun comes
you
up.
can argue for a very long time, okay? But there's not going to be resolution. Unless, of course, the Jew converts to Christianity and starts seeing the Bible through Christian-colored glasses. Or unless the Christian converts to Judaism and abandons his pagan idolatry and starts seeing the Bible for what it is and not through Christian-colored glasses.
Right.
It's that simple.
Okay, so point 3.
Point 3 is that he's neglecting the context.
Okay.
You take the text out of the context, all you're left with is a con. Take the text out of the context, and all you're left with is the con.
That's a good one, yeah.
You know, it's like the sleight of hand with Isaiah 47:1 and then 9. Forget verse 3.
Yep.
But hey, I don't care how they interpret this. If they want to interpret this as Christians, go right ahead. That's what makes them Christian.
Yep.
I'm not a Christian.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so now we need to go to, where did I send it? I think I sent that to you in a text message. But as long as I can find it, I will find it. Hold on one second. This is going to be the second topic. And I can tell you right now, we will not have time for phone calls.
Oh, my
because
phone
we're already like almost we're about 45 minutes in right now. Let me see.
My phone just went dead, so I can't.
That's okay. I've got it right here.
paste
Okay, let's see. Is this the one? Let me see which one it was that I sent you here real fast. Y'all bear with me 1 second. Where's my Federow at? Where's my Federow? I'll have to search for it. All right, Federow. So, guys, while I'm looking for this, very important.
Well, it came on, so maybe
I got it right here.
you got it.
Yep.
Okay.
I said it did.
Because-
Oh, it wasn't that. It was a text message. That's why I couldn't find it on Facebook.
I know, but my phone died, so
Okay,
I can't
cool.
copy paste the text message.
No, that's okay. I got
It's
this.
coming on, so maybe there's enough
Yeah.
power left to get it done.
Okay, so I'll just read this off then. Let me go here. Okay, but before I do that, I want to remind everybody, guys, go to, it's official now, HebrewJumpStart.com is an actual website now. Actual website. It just hit 300,000 views today, Baruch Hashem.
Isn't that cool?
And it is, and it's very
That's
worthy
amazing.
of its very
Wish
worthy
I
of
had
its
$1
own
for
home.
everyone who did that.
That's the point too. So, guys, listen. There's a lot of you know this. A lot of you don't know. Rabbi Federow has been
retired now.
led into a retirement where there's not much. There isn't a retirement there. Hopefully, you have some money saved up. But there is a donate button on that website. If any of you guys out there happen to win the lottery, please send him a big chunk of change.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hey, I'm not proud. You can send me a small chunk of change.
HebrewJumpStart.com.
Right, but
And watch that video if you're trying to learn Hebrew. That's a really great resource to learn. In fact, I really hope, Rabbi, that you and I will start putting together a second one for being able to do the next steps of how to use that Hebrew into words and prefixes and stuff like that. That'd be kind of fun. That'd be a major overtaking, but that would be the next step, though. Just saying. Okay, all right, here we go. I'm going to read this out to you because I don't have it on screen. Actually, I could probably show you on screen, though. Let me see if it...
wait. Let me see if I can quickly copy paste this before. Oh, see, now it's 2%.
Okay, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to see if I can pull up another camera real fast. Let's see.
Okay.
And I'm going to, if I can stick it right here and actually put it on the screen. Give me 1 second here because I need to be able to hold it steady at the same time. Let's see if this works. I've got... Oh, yeah, this might actually work, Rabbi. Oh, yeah, hold on. I think I got this. Let's see. I got to get it at the right distance and turn it this way. Okay, here we go. I got it.
Here we go.
All right, just look at the screen. I got you covered. Look at the YouTube video. Okay, hold on. I'm probably in the wrong spot, but I'll scroll up. Okay. Oh, here we go. Where it says I left why is it not scrolling? Oh,
I lost it.
Oh, that's okay. It's because it's already
I almost had enough time.
It's all on screen. It says,
Okay.
I left a question for Tovia. He says, God forbids human sacrifice, but good old Isaiah 53 clearly says it pleased God to make his life an offering for sin. So a lot of his answers on Isaiah 53 I find wrong. One, he has claimed to...
Of course he does. He's a Christian.
Right.
He has to see it,
He says he claims it was the Jews that died in World War. Of course, that's not the point. The first part is the point. So let's discuss whatever part of this you want. Probably all of it, or I wish I could hold my phone straight. There we go. There we go. Am I holding it steady enough? Can you see it?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, so it says, it pleased God to make his life an offering for sin. Now, when I looked it up, it didn't say his life. It says it actually said something about sickness. So it's like he didn't kill him, or it wasn't talking about a dead man. It was talking about someone who was sick. But I don't know. I'm not the Hebrew scholar here. So okay, so I'm going to pull this off the screen now. So everybody got a good grasp on that? Yep, good to go.
So which verse is this?
I think it's later on in 53, like maybe 12 or 15. I don't even know. I looked at it earlier. I couldn't remember. Let's see. Oh yeah. So he goes on to say, so a lot of his answers on Isaiah 53 I find wrong. One has claimed that it was the Jews who died in World War II, which goes against him saying nobody can die for sins, and then the plurality of saying all the Jews died, which again is a contradiction on his part. And again, this is the person who doesn't really know Hebrew or anything like that, so that does make a difference. Okay, moving back here. Where are we at? What do you want me to put up on screen?
I'd like you to put up on screen his original if you can.
I can't. Well, I did. I put it on the YouTube video for like 45 seconds. Were you not looking at it? You didn't look.
I don't know.
Shame on you. Here, I'll tell you what to do. I will send that to you right now so you can pull it up. Y'all bear with us 1 second for not being prepared. Hold on.
Send it by email because my cell phone died.
Email. Well, Facebook Messenger. You have Facebook on your computer, don't you?
Okay, wait a minute. Facebook.
Yeah, right.
Okay, all right.
Okay, there we go. So I'm fixing to send it to you in a Facebook message right now. Right now. Live. All right, let's see. Here we go. Right there. Paste. Boom, and there you go. It is your way now. I think I just finally got Troy to respond. I don't know if he's watching or if he just tuned in, but we'll find out here in a second. I'm going to look and see.
He said he's going to watch it later. He doesn't.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. Okay, so there you go. So you can use that now and comment based on what you see there. I would comment on the second part too because there's actually things scriptural in that, even though it's referring
and you
to
sent it to my Facebook page.
I just sent you Facebook Messenger.
Right.
Yep, I just sent it to Facebook Messenger. Now you have me questioning myself. Let me see.
Okay.
Yep, I did. It's right there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
A
lot of this, I'm not even sure what he means.
Just start.
Father's children are in him before they are born.
That's old. That's old. Start at Sunday, 12:05 p.m.
I can't even see the timestamp.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
There's a three paragraph cluster there. Use those.
Yeah, he says the Father is in him and he is in the Father, which would be the opposite of the Father being in him.
Okay, that's that. Hold on, that's not part of the thing. Start where it says. Oh yeah, it is. He actually copied and pasted that. My bad. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
And then he says the book of Enoch, the firstborn, Shor and Rem, which shows the transformation of the Messiah. Who cares what the book of Enoch says? The book of Enoch is pseudepigraphic. It's pseudepigrapha. That's a fancy term for saying the following.
By the way, this is a guy named John Cook. He probably would like to shout out because, I mean, these are good Christian arguments. I have the same question. So that's probably where he's at now. Maybe after seeing this, he will have a change of heart.
Okay. I don't know what he's talking about. Transformation of the Messiah. From what to what? Okay. Supposedly Jesus was in heaven and became a human. Okay. If Jesus was God becoming a human, as Christians say, Numbers 23:19, if God were a man, he'd be a liar. Okay, that's whatever. But he's quoting the book of Enoch as this. We're supposed to take that as authoritative. Book of Enoch was rejected from being in the Bible. It's pseudepigrapha. I started to say this. Pseudepigraphic or pseudepigrapha. Pseudo, fake, epigraph, signature. Okay, it's not exactly, but it's close enough to what that means. Fake signature. Okay. Hey, if I write a book and I sign it Stuart Federow, nobody's going to want to read the book. But if I say Enoch wrote this book, then maybe people will pay attention. Pseudo fake signature, like saying the author. So you have all these books in the period of time between the testaments. The Hebrew scriptures gets canonized, stopped, done, the end, and then 66 roughly, give or take, is what Christian scholars say, the writing down of the book of Mark. So in that period of time, you have all these books that are floating around, which are pseudepigrapha, okay? They're written by who knows who, but they're attributed to somebody who's got more respect and authority to the people who are going to be reading the book. But the book of Enoch isn't Bible. Who cares what it says? And I'm not sure what he's referring to. Probably something that came before this that we don't have, which shows the transformation of the Messiah. I don't know what he's talking about. He says he left a question to Tovia. He says, God forbid human sacrifice. But good old Isaiah 53 clearly says it pleased God to make his life an offering for sin. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at that passage. You got to bring it up. Ugh.
Okay.
Do you happen to know which verse that is? 53 something.
53. I can look at it for you real fast. I have to scroll through it earlier. I'm getting all these menus popping up now for some reason. Okay, let me get to 53 first. Oh, no wonder I zoomed in so far. I got like one word on the screen. That's funny. All right, here we go. Scrolling on down. It only goes to 12. Okay, verse 10. And the Lord wished to crush him. He made him middle. His soul makes...
53:10?
Maybe. I'm reading. Let's see. It's weird because I'm looking at Kabod version and it doesn't say to kill him. Let's see. I still love verse 11, though. It says, by his knowledge, many will be justified. That's a slap on the face. Okay, and there goes. Maybe I should look in the King James because I think I'm going to have a hard time finding what he was trying to point out because this is not a Christian translation. So let me go to Bible Gateway and look at their Isaiah. But you can chat for a minute while I'm talking. No sense in having dead air.
All right. If it's 53:10, the better translation is, and the Lord wished to crush him. Blah, blah. And the Lord wished to crush him. He made him ill. If, Hebrew says, if, not when, as the King James translates, if his soul makes itself restitution, he shall see his seed, he shall prolong his days, and God's purpose shall prosper in his hand. If that's the one...
It is 10. That is exactly the one. I just...
Okay.
Yep.
I gotta get when it says he shall see his seed, the word there for seed is zarah. It doesn't mean disciples. It means seed. Yeah, seed means from the loins. It means his children, descendants. And Jesus' descendants were who?
Right.
Who were his descendants? Okay. He shall prolong his days. Prolong his days?
Yeah, so he's not going to die anyway.
According to Christian theology, he died as a young 33.
Right. Yep.
Okay. So...
Yep, so there's the point right there. And it literally says, I think the part, it says that it shall make his soul an offering for sin. When thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin. But right here, it doesn't say he died. It was saying his sickness.
Right.
So it couldn't be a dead soul, if anything. It's just metaphorical in that point, I guess.
Wait a minute. Let me check something else real quick.
But like you said, he shall see his seed. He shall prolong his days, and he shall, and the pleasure of the Lord shall prosper in his hand.
10.
So that could be confusing.
Okay, and
here it is, verse 11. That to me, it tells everything. He shall see the travail of his soul. So if he was dead, how could he see the travail of his soul? Or actually, it's probably God, except because it says he shall be satisfied by his knowledge. My righteous servants. Okay, good. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay. By the way, the King James, it pleased the Lord to bruise him. He's put him to grief. But the Jewish Publication Society goes to the accurate, yet it pleased the Eternal to crush him by disease, not on the cross.
Right.
Okay, and let me check one more thing. It uses the root word for sick. Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, and let's see what. Wait, what?
What do you look for?
How in the world do they get grief when the word, even in the what's his name, okay, is disease? I just said his name, Strong. Okay, let's see what the BDB has. Okay, weak, sick, feel weak, become sick, become ill, make oneself sick, made sick, be tired. Doesn't say die on a cross. So it can't apply to Jesus. And as we repeatedly talk about, okay, verse 9, to me, this is like the epitome of what they do. He made his grave with the wicked and with the rich in his death, because he had done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth. That's the verse immediately preceding 10. He made his grave with the wicked. No, his grave was with the rich. I can't think of his name now. Arimathea.
Joseph of Arimathea.
Joseph of Arimathea. I couldn't think of it. Joseph of Arimathea was a rich man, and according to the Christian New Testament, Jesus got the grave of a rich man. He didn't make his grave with the wicked. He made his grave with the rich. And then it says, and with the rich in his death. Jesus wasn't with rich people in his death. He was with wicked people, the thieves. So if Isaiah 53:10 is about Jesus, so does Isaiah 53:9 have to be about Jesus. And Isaiah 53:10 is about an illness not being on a cross. And 53:9, when they invented the story of Jesus, trying to make it reflect Isaiah 53:9, they got mixed up. His grave was with the rich, and he was with the wicked in his death, instead of being what the Bible says, made his grave with the wicked and the rich in his death. So, all the way around, yeah.
Right. Come on, let's see.
You know, how there are a billion out there of the Jewish perspective on Isaiah 53. So nothing we are saying is probably new to whatever his name was, John. Okay, so clearly says it pleased God to make his life an offering for sin. Wait a minute, are you sure that's 10?
It is in the, I believe it is in the King James. Let's see. Isaiah 53:10 says, he shall see the travail. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 52:10. Yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him. He hath put him to grief when you shall make his soul a soul an offering for sin.
It's 10.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. Sorry, I'm dealing with some YouTube chatters right now.
And if this is talking about the Jewish people, that was another thing he wrote. Let's go back to that. A lot of his answers on Isaiah 53 I find wrong. Of course you find wrong. You're a Christian. One, he had claimed it was the Jews who died in World War II. Yes, you could talk about, remember something, okay? Isaiah 53:9, okay, and he made if you look at the Hebrew, and I don't think these people even glance at the Hebrew. It amazes me how many Israelis who know Hebrew inherently, they grew up in it, it's their native tongue, and they don't look at the Hebrew either when they're given stuff from missionaries. And he made his grave with the wicked and with the rich in his deaths. It's plural. It's more than one death. The word death in the Hebrew is b'motav, and it's plural. And Christians will give you this nonsense about, well, by plural, making it plural, it's actually only emphasizing it. Well, so anytime there's a plural, they can squirm out of the problem by just saying it's emphasis. I'm sorry, I take it a little bit more literally. And the text is plural, deaths. And therefore, maybe Jesus has to come back and die a second time in order to fit this, because he's only died once. Okay. But I can't believe that he hasn't seen our response to this. And if you want to talk about the deaths of the Jewish people, let's see, the pogroms, the Crusades, were when they would go on the way to Jerusalem to get rid of the Muslims. They would pass through a Jewish town and kill every man, woman, and child, because why go all the way to the Mideast when we've got non-believers right in our midst? Okay, the pogroms, the Crusades, the Khmelnytsky massacres, the Holocaust, obviously, every single terrorist that's ever come into Israel, we are martyrs. We have people who are martyrs, okay? And there are plenty of people who rather die than give in to, to oppression and make his souls an offering, okay? Rich in his deaths. Many Jews have died as martyrs at the hands of Christians, by the way. Oh, but they're not Christians. So, and they die on purpose. They make their soul an offering for their own sin, by the way, not for somebody else's sin. It doesn't say for everybody. They've sinned to the whole world. Okay. All right. We already talked about it. Okay.
Yep. Okay. So I thought something was kind of interesting. So Majobri on YouTube. Rabbi, can you hear me?
Yeah. Wait a minute. Which goes against him saying nobody can die for sin. No, wait a minute. It doesn't say. Just a couple more things, because we got more in this next paragraph, right? It was the Jews who died in World War II, which goes against him saying nobody can die for sins. People died in the Holocaust not to free everybody else from their sin. The Bible is explicitly clear. Deuteronomy 24:16, every man should be put to death for his own sin. Nobody else can die for your sin. It says that repeatedly. Moses goes up to God and says, these people, golden calf, these people have sinned a great sin. Punish me for their sin. And God says, sorry, it doesn't work that way. The one who sins is the one who gets the punishment. Right. Psalm, which Psalm? Nobody can be a ransom for someone else's sin. And Ezekiel 18. Now, come on, everybody quotes these. These aren't new. Okay, one person's death doesn't take away the guilt committed by someone else's sin. Repeatedly, it says that in the Bible. Okay, these people didn't die to take away the sin of everybody else. They died as a result of, they died because of the sin of everybody else, who are the ones who killed them, who killed us. Okay, these Jews died at the hands of other people because they were Jews. They were martyrs to a cause, the Jewish cause, of believing in the one God who's indivisible and unique. And their death didn't take away the sins of other people. If a soldier jumps on a hand grenade to save the lives of his buddies, his death because of the hand grenade he jumped on doesn't take away everybody's sin. He saved them, okay? They're saved because of what he did, but the issue is, can his death be an atonement for someone else's sin? The Bible explicitly, repeatedly says, doesn't work that way. Okay, and then the plurality of saying all the Jews died. Yes, they died, but nobody ever said that their death took away the sins of anybody else. That's Christian. We don't believe in Christianity. We'd reject the Christian concept because the Bible, every man shall be put to death for his own sin. Ish b'chet o yumatu. Okay, it's not a contradiction on his part. You're trying to interpret it in a Christian way, which he never meant. Okay, the end.
Right. Okay, so Majobri brought up a good point too. It said it says his soul makes his soul an offering, not his flesh. But Colossians, I believe it is. Let me go back to it. Colossians, it says it's a physical body. His body was offered, right? So that doesn't work anyway. So that's a good point. And then also somebody, actually no, this is for a different show. I don't want to bring that up right now. So. Let's see. Okay, well, to be fair, we're an hour and 10 minutes in, and I think we covered those points. We definitely do not have time for a live call-in show tonight. I really do appreciate you guys watching tonight. Rabbi, I appreciate your time, for sure.
Always a pleasure.
And very good. And on screen, you'll find Rabbi Stuart Federow. You can send him a direct email, or if you want to go to connect with him based on the Hebrew class, go to HebrewJumpstart.com. Hit the Contact Us page. Yeah.
It'd be nice if you made a donation. If you don't, that's also okay.
Yeah.
But tonight we're also talking about William Hall and TaNaCh Talk, and make a donation there because you've just enjoyed his videos.
9 years.
You enjoy his videos. If you take my hour class, then it'd be nice if you made a donation.
So 9 years.
But tonight you've already watched the video. Make the donation to William.
We have 9 years today. Well, not today, to date, but we're in the 9th year right now. I've got 1,650 videos in 9 years.
How much it is?
1,656 videos. Lord. So that's a lot of videos.
If each one is an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Hour minimum. Hour minimum.
That's
right.
800 days or something? No, I can't do the math.
By the way, real quickly, somebody did donate to you $20. Of course, you'll only get about 9 of that.
Well,
I'm sorry, 11 or 12 of that. Helen Roosh, thank you. It says for Rabbi Stuart Federow. She donated this after hearing what I mentioned earlier about your website and about your retirement. So I'll get whatever was left over of that YouTube doesn't take.
I'm not worried. Okay.
We'll send it
Thank you.
over.
That's very nice of you.
Very good.
But for those of you who just watched the video we just did, make a donation to TaNaCh Talk. If you see the whole video that I made and that William animated.
Yeah.
William animated it, okay, to learn how to read Hebrew in 1 hour.
Right.
Okay. And if you're rusty in some parts, play it over again. Do it again.
Right.
But 1 hour you should be reading Hebrew if you open your mouth and speak.
Right.
Then if you'd like to make a donation to me, that'd be nice.
Certainly appreciate that. All right, you guys, y'all have a wonderful evening. And Rabbi, you have a great evening as well. And we'll see
Thank you. You too.
We'll see you guys same time, same place next week. Hashem willing. Peace out, everybody. Shalom. Bye. Shalom, my dear friends. Hope this message finds you well. If you like the way this channel is going and the channel has been a blessing to you, please consider supporting the channel by going to the website, TaNachTalk.com. TaNachTalk.com. Thank you once again for your time and for supporting TaNaCh Talk. Shalom.
חשוב והכרחי להיות ביחד. איפוק זו העוצמה, ויתור זו הגדולה, השאיפה